News Panorama is a TV news magazine program that gives you the story behind the story.
It tells the stories the way they should be told by capturing the larger scale.
It deals with people's deep feelings on issues that, when brought to the fore, ultimately educates, informs, and entertains.
News Panorama. Capture the larger scale.
Work is the foundation of a better society, providing people with the essentials that allow people to live a good life: food, shelter, clothing, and medical care. In a perfect world, everyone would be able to find a suitable job for their skills and interests. But unfortunately, unemployment is the order of the day in Nigeria, as millions of people graduate every day and queue in the job market for employment. ASUU warning strike, minimum wage, and situation report on bad roads in Cross River State. Welcome and thanks for joining me on the program News Panorama. I am Josephine Efanga.
News Panorama. Capture the larger scale.
If you have just tuned in, you are watching News Panorama. Uncertainty grips Nigerian workers as state governments delay implementation of the new 70,000 naira minimum wage, weeks after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed into law. Despite promises of improved living standard, workers across the country remain in suspense while struggling to make ends meet on their old salaries. Madam Edem brings details on the latest developments concerning the minimum wage, the reports.
The implementation of the new 70,000 naira minimum wage in Nigeria has been delayed, weeks after President Bola Tinubu signed it into law. A lot of expectations are on the minds of Nigerian workers and dependents as a result of the delay in implementing the new minimum wage. Despite the federal government efforts, most states have yet to enforce the new minimum wage structure, which has left Nigerian workers in a state of uncertainty and suspense. So far, only few states have initiated the process of implementing the new minimum wage. These states are Kano, Kwara, Ogun, Borno, Jigawa, Ondo, and Abia. Lagos and Edo are claiming to have started payment of the new minimum wage. Meanwhile, Adamawa State on the 20th of August announced on kickstarting the payment of the newly approved minimum wage this August. While Delta and Akwa Ibom state governments are awaiting the circular on the consequential adjustment from the federal government before starting payment, whereas Cross River State still remains silent about the payments. The delay has left workers across the country uncertain about when they will receive their promised pay. The new minimum wage is intended to improve workers' standards of living and help workers cope with the rising cost of living. Some correspondents aired their views concerning the hardship in which the delay of implementing the minimum wage has caused them.
What we need is for him to bring down the cost of fuel that is on the high cost, and even the regulation, the food price regulation that he put aside has not been implemented. So for him to open border for 150 days is just a waste of time.
The civil service unemployment candidate into the civil service, but I don't know the policy, but they say they will. Since they sign it, we never hear anything. They say they are doing a consequential adjustment. The adjustment, when they do, they finish, they will get to us.
Others went forward to say that the state government should work on implementing the minimum wage quickly to help alleviate the sufferings of the citizens.
1,000 naira minimum wage. The very first question we need to ask is that, has it been implemented? If it has been implemented, does it also fall in line with the realities of time? Does it really, can it be compared to what we are having in terms of the price of goods in the market? Those are the things. So first and foremost is implementation.
Generally, it affected everyone. It's unfair. You said the reason behind this is just because of the economy we found ourselves. Then why are you wasting time? You should implement it immediately. You understand? You remove subsidy, we are suffering, and you are getting from the other side. You don't want to give others so that these others will not suffer.
Stating their assurance that the governor, Senator Basio too, will implement the minimum wage, others pointed out that the delay was due to the government's engagement in various vital initiatives.
Cross River State as a state has not delayed that payment. Cross River State has commencing payment. It's affecting the life of everybody, not just the civil servants. It's affecting your life as a student, affecting the life of civil servants, affecting the life of every other category of persons.
The governor you're having here is what he said he will do. He is a man that operates within the ambience of law. The minimum wage act have been done. We trust our governor. He came, the relief package, he have given all those things that he knows he should get to his people. They have done them. The allowances he paid. So the minimum wage aspect, he will definitely done that. You ask of other states, sitting a committee, he has his own way of doing things. He will do it.
This is the Nigerian Labour Congress office here in Calabar. All attempts to speak with the state chairman prove abortive. However, Cross River State civil servants are looking up to their union for a positive action. For CRBC News Panorama, Magdalene Eden reporting.
As Cross River State embarks on significant employment drive aimed at reducing unemployment and fostering economic growth, it's crucial for job seekers to remain vigilant against fraudulent schemes. Employment scams have become increasingly sophisticated, targeting individuals with false promises to lucrative job offers. Praise Chijoke provides essential tips to help job seekers avoid falling victims to scams.
Due to the high rates of unemployment in the state, the promise of a job can be a strong prospect. However, scammers are taking advantage of desperate job seekers in Cross River State, leaving them with false hopes and empty pockets. With the job market being more competitive than ever, the rise of employment scams has left many job seekers feeling vulnerable and anxious. As of 2023, the rate of fraudulent activities in Nigeria was at an estimate of 58.73%, and as of 2024, it is reported that there is an increase in this percentage. With recent development of the governor of Cross River State, His Excellency ASUU, to employ 2,000 people in the state civil service, there is a concern about Cross Riverians falling victim to this opportunist. Dr. Esther Madukwe and others share their experiences with job scammers.
Graduated long ago, so when I freshly graduated, so somebody just met my husband and said, there is this job they are recruiting. Since your wife has finished and she has served, bring her credentials, let me get a job for her in state secondary education board. So out of that excitement and everything, I got my CV and handed over. So after about 3 days, the guy now came back and met my husband and said we had to pay 50K. After 2019, 2020, that we had to pay 50K that the job is done. So I said, no, we should not pay, that is a scam. I was saying, no, it's not a scam, that that is what people do. We now paid. Since that 2019, 2020, till date, nothing was heard.
One of the experiences I had was, I think, not actually in Cross River State, but in Akwa Ibom, of a particular young girl that was seeking for a job and was connected through a phone on social media. Actually, when she got in, she noticed she went to the wrong place and she met the wrong people, and she was molested. And many of her valuables were taken from her, and money and her phone were taken from her.
Some citizens gave their advice to those applying for these positions during this ongoing exercise in the state.
I think the only way you can avoid being scammed is make sure that you do your own proper research about ongoing online employment. I think yes. So you do your research, do your findings, and then maybe you can ask close friends that maybe have ideas about it. I think that just works. Because if you always do your research, then you eventually get at least 60 or 70% the truth about what's going on. But if you just get a post on WhatsApp or maybe just see anything online and then just go in filling information, then there's that greater tendency that it might be scam.
First thing I will suggest is verification. Verify first before. At this point of life, a lot of persons want to get to do something, and hearing that the government wants to give jobs, so everyone wants to work, knowing the present situation of our country right now. So if you get a memo of anything, first check if that memo carries the official stuffs of the state. Then first thing, try to verify from persons can be of help persons in civil servants that can actually help you. So verification is the key.
And you have to carry out your investigation before going to an employment, and you know where you're going for and you know what you're doing. You can maybe avoid getting scammed, process of employment somebody or seeking for an employment.
These ones further advise the government to post security measures in place to safeguard job seekers.
The government has been doing their best to enlighten people, but it's just that everybody is desperate. People really want to get a job. So out of desperation, that is maybe you can change titles and maybe work on people's psychology, or maybe because there is nothing you will say now. People will tell you that you don't want us to get that job. Government already, they are doing their best to enlighten people, but people are just desperate. That is just the issue.
Government should have a portal that if someone is seeking for a job, every applicant can pass through that portal to get the job. And not only that too, government can also help to advertise job on radio station and other media for people to get the job. And when that is done, they should be sure that the people seeking the job are being secured through their different means.
The government should maybe put in a proper security unit to stop all these scam people from getting people scam and get their money. We should also bring in a good system that people can come in and get registered according to them through this online, maybe a better platform for people can reach out to them and then get started, get the job done as very easy as possible.
As Calabar tackles the rise of employment scams, awareness and vigilance are key to protect oneself from falling victim or prey to this fraudulent scheme. By sharing this advice and stories, the community hopes to empower job seekers and prevent further incidents of deception. Individuals are expected to stay vigilant and make proper research on various job offers to avoid being a victim to this scam. For CRBC News Panorama, TJK Praise reporting.
Unemployment continues to plague Cross River State despite government's recent efforts to alleviate the problems, with over 30% of population struggling to find work. There is a pressing need for the government to partner with major stakeholders to create more job opportunities in the state. The unification of the government and the private sector will develop solutions that will enable the state to support citizens and reduce unemployment rates. Samuel Ada tells us more on the report.
Cross River State is struggling with a significant rise in unemployment, raising concerns among residents and policymakers alike. Recent statistics reveal that the unemployment rate has surged to alarming levels, affecting thousands of families across Nigeria. This troubling trend has led to increased poverty, societal unrest, and a general sense of hopelessness among the youth, who are particularly hard hit by the lack of job opportunities. In response, community leaders and organizations are calling for urgent action to address this crisis, emphasizing the need of innovative solutions such as partnerships with private sector companies and investments in local industries. As the situation continues to unfold, it is crucial for the government to engage with stakeholders and implement effective policies that not only create jobs but also empower residents with the skills necessary to thrive in a competitive job market. Dr. Anthony Giri, a lecturer in the University of Calabar, commented on the unemployment rate in the state and its impact on youth. He advised that the state helps the youth by partnering with the private companies.
Unemployment can be addressed through issue of empowerment. If the government can be able to empower the youth by giving them, not just empowering them, you have to train them on skills and acquisition, and at the end of the day, you empower them. I think that can help to reduce the rate of unemployment.
Some respondents in an interview shared insights on how the government can work with the private sector to create more job opportunities for the citizens.
So at that point, you see the emergence of the private sector coming on. People have confidence that their investment is secured. Government is also dealing on that to check on illegal taxation.
Others listed the hostile tax environment, lack of cooperation from the end of the government, among others, as reasons why most private companies are not investing in the state.
Very but the company is not willing. For one, they should encourage the private sector by giving out soft loan. So sometimes if they give out loan, soft loan so that they can afford to pay back, they can as well employ the youth but the government is not doing it. And it does that.
These ones advise that the government should take partnership with private sectors into consideration, as well as working on the tax and other policies that will scare investors away.
If the state government say it can reduce taxation will enhance the private sectors to employ more hands. Because if they reduce their taxation, now the employers will now see them to employ more hands in their establishments. So one of the things why I see why employers refuse to employ more hands is because of the high pay. So when they check their profits, their expenditure, they want to curtail.
For CRBC News Panorama, Samuel Ada reports.
Another ASUU strike looms as union issues a 21-day notice to the federal government while preparing to embark on warning strike. Glory Okeke in this report examines the effects of ASUU strike on the academic growth of students. The report.
The ASUU strike has impacted students across Nigeria. During this strike, academic calendar, postponed exams, and prolonged graduation candidates. Students often face challenges in completing their studies on time, which can affect their future career and opportunities.
The notice issued by ASUU at the end of the NEC meeting, which was held at the University of Ibadan on Monday, 19th August 2024, followed the union's initial strike threat over the non-implementation of the 2009 agreement between ASUU and the government, which was significant. This involved several key points such as funding for renewal university system and academic allowances, which has accumulated for over 6 years and nothing has been done about it. Dr. Anthony Igiri, a member of ASUU University of Calabar chapter, talked about field discussion with the federal government and how it will affect the university system.
The issue of ASUU strike has been lingering from a very long time, which ASUU have done their best by giving the federal government a good number of time to see how federal government can meet up with the demands of ASUU. What the federal government will know has not been able to do what they ought to do to see how they can solve the problem of ASUU. Over time, ASUU have been make a move to go on strike, but the federal government will call and plead and let go at the end of the day. ASUU have decided to take a decision that when they have no other option since federal government have refused to meet up with the demand and to embark on strike. The academic calendar is going to be affected. Students will have to return back to their home, and everything that has to do with the university will have to stand. Have to be keep on the hold now. So everything is going to be on standstill. So no activities that is going to take place academically in the university system.
Some cross-variants aired their opinions that the federal government needs to look into the welfare of the education sector, which can delay some students from graduating.
The government are not doing well to the suffering of the lecturers. They have to do with university education. But for the ASUU, I think it's better they go alongside with the government to negotiate, discuss on the way forward how the university system can be run properly to avert all this incessant strike every now and then.
I'm concerned about the students because some of the students, their course is just 4 years course, but they will be in school till maybe 6 to 7 years before they graduate. I'm praying that maybe before we, like me, going to the school, they should stop doing all these things. That's my own plan. I don't like the way that every time ASUU strike, all those things, I don't like it. I'm praying God to touch the government of this state to stop all this so that the student can graduate.
We as a student, we are really coming around, and actually we really need to round up because of the hassle of the strike of the bill that is coming up. Then we are not happy about it. Actually, we are not really happy about it. So we don't really want the strike to happen.
Others were of the view that ASUU should be considerate of the interest of the students, sharing their experiences as students in the university.
Government, to some extent, should endeavor to try as much as possible to meet up their demands. And ASUU also should be considerate when government says this is what I can do, please accept. For the interest of the students.
Government need to look into the welfare of the lecturers, because the educational system in the country is not really giving us the desired result. If we must compare with those in the developed world, government need to pay attention to the education sector. They need to look into it to avoid a situation in which we embark on a strike action that will delay students from graduating and hamper the education of our citizens.
Some parents pleaded that both ASUU and the government should compromise and meet at a middle point so as not to disturb academic section of their works.
So for me, I don't blame the ASUU. Rather, my blame goes to the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's the government. If the government live up to her responsibility, I think the issue of this incessant strike and other things will not come in. So I will advise the government to do the needful and allow students face their academic pursuit.
If a student plans to graduate maybe in 4 years' time, you understand, there's every possibility that it extends the way of stay in university, you understand, thereby delaying the students. To me, is very, very poor. It will not be a good one. So the government should see what they can do to be able to see how to tackle this need.
To comment on the 21-day warning strike as notice to government on their failure to keep to their agreement. A lot of students across the country and in the state have been left in suspense and worried about their academics. For CRBC News Panorama, Glory Okeke reporting.
Motorists in Yarasang community are getting frustrated at the deplorable state of Yarasang Road, which has continued to wreak havoc on the daily activities. The large sizes of potholes is a constant cause of accidents and delays on the road. Maurice Etem tells us more, the report.
Road plays an essential role in economy. They connect people, services and goods more than just pathways. Roads are essential for the growth of economy and development due to their ability to connect commuters, boost productivity and enable business reach longer markets. On this note, when roads are left neglected and allowed to wear out, the consequences can rather be devastating. This can be seen in the case of the Yarasang Road. Because of the situation of the road, a lot of people and businesses have relocated due to the inaccessibility of the road. And this has been a situation for the past 22 years since the contract of repairing the road was abandoned. Eldan Chokefime, a resident of Yarasang who has lived in the area for about 15 years, had his view concerning the situation. He pointed out that the road has been in a bad state for a long time. He further went on to explain that due to the road not being repaired properly, the condition has been like that.
Between 2011 and 2012 is when the construction of this road came on board during Senator Imokle's administration. And this road was being awarded and done. We were happy that the road came up to this level. If they were done as the other areas, the road would have been sustained until now. But because they left it undone, so it was an unfinished work that have led to the deplorable state of the road as it is now. So that if it was actually completed, we would have been enjoying a good road until now. So this area was actually abandoned, having been awarded on contract.
Other residents of the area talked about the business not moving smoothly due to the situation of the road and how there is flood when there is a serious rain.
Sometimes when you want to move in here, the complaints is that the road is bad, we can't go in. So you see that if we are running, whether business or personal endeavors, you find it difficult sometimes to get a vehicle to access the road. So the only thing is that except the road is worked on, then I think economic activities will flourish.
That's water, no be small. Water enter now, you know, go fit stay here. Even to waka, you know, go fit. Without this road fine, you know, go come constant something.
Yes.
People are moving, people are leaving the place. So you find out that if you are doing business there, is a problem. If you have a house there, is a problem. People will come in, park in this day. After their rent expired, they will feel that this road is very bad, you cannot stay, they will leave. So it's affecting both the residents, the people that are doing business in the area, and it's also affecting the landlords.
Some affected residents expressed their grievances on the bad road, saying also pleading with the government to come to their aid.
The road is very, very bad. Since I passed into that place, it's over 12 years. The road has been bad, promise upon promise that they will come and fix it. No way. You will drive after 2 days, you take your car to mechanic. In fact, my own yesterday, I was stranded, I left the car there and all the rain was on me yesterday. The road is very terrible and we are calling on the government to come and do something about it.
The government should award a new contract, a fresh contract for the road, and let there be a proper monitoring that the work is completed. And if that is done, the government have given the people a leverage.
For the past 22 years, the residents of Yagasang have faced the dilemma of navigating the pothole-filled roads. Businesses, house owners, school children, motorists, and road users are calling on the government and relevant agencies to come to their aid. For CLBC News Panorama, Maurice Zetem reporting.
That is all we have on our lineup this week. We hope to be back same time next week. Do keep a date with us. I am Josephine Efama.